So everyone who has a Bachelor of Science or a Bachelor of Arts degree, just raise your hand. I know we have one nurse, so if there's any other RNs or BSNs, want to raise your hands. Anybody with a master's degree? Okay. Any JDs, PhDs, or MDs?
I play one on TV.
Oh. Thanks, Mike. Well, we're a pretty intelligent group, as you can see, but I'd like to encourage you to possibly explore getting more education. And I know you're probably thinking, I have no desire to go back to spend hours inside the classroom, or stay up late nights writing papers, or stressing over studying for an exam. But bear with me and keep listening, this speech is still for you. Today my call of action is to inspire you to syncretically, or look for syncretic methods of education, or broadening your education, and also improving yourself. There's a quote that says, "Only the educated are free." Now this philosophy is a little different than the one that's prescribed in the 1995 hit single Waterfalls by TLC. Don't go chasing waterfalls, please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. The only problem, and mind you, it's a wonderful song, I like it myself, but the only problem with sticking to the paths that we're most used to, or the ones that we're familiar with, is that it puts us in a narrow tunnel, and all we see is this. But if we allow ourselves to open up and take the blinders off, we're exposed to the blind spots that we usually wouldn't see. And now we have a much wider view of paths that we can take in life. All of you guys kind of have been committed to making that wider horizon by joining Toastmasters and including this in your continuing education. All of you want, I'm assuming, to become better communicators and leaders. After all, you probably thought you were a pretty good communicator before joining Toastmasters. You all talk in your daily life at work or at home, and you didn't realize how diluted your message was until someone as such as the Oscar Marion came and told you how many times you were saying and so, and you know. And now that you have that awareness, you can go ahead and be a better communicator outside in your life. I want to inspire you to maybe think at other areas where you could take this education experience on, considering taking on a new activity such as hiking or running, bicycling, knitting, sewing. There's several common interest clubs out there that allow you to learn a new task and also experience new people. And while you might never become an expert at that task, you have the opportunity to learn something from someone one-on-one and face-to-face. Even in this world of tech savviness with text messages on cell phones and computers and social networking sites, there's something that can't be replaced from the one-on-one connection that you get from talking and interaction with someone one-to-one. There's so much that you can learn from seeing the world in someone else's eyes. Now you might be thinking, I've lived my jock years, I'm not taking on any more sports, nor do I feel like running around or cycling anywhere. Okay. Maybe consider traveling. This is one of the most rewarding experiences and ways to learn. Whether it's visiting another country, another city, or even just another state, maybe just somewhere around the corner, you'll be surprised what you're exposed to that you never knew was there. It's like living your history book out live and in 3D. You get to experience the food of that culture. You get to experience the different language or dialect of that culture. You get to feel the emotions of the people that you're visiting. And that's something that you can't gain from a documentary on TV or from reading a book. I've had the opportunity to travel to 6 different countries and to live in 2 different continents. In 2007, I lived in South Africa. I lived with a host family, and during the day I volunteered at medical centers or hospitals and clinics there in South Africa. And I was able to help out with people who had AIDS and HIV. This experience was so inspiring that it led me to creating the path that I am on now to a career in healthcare, and also being such a strong advocate for AIDS and HIV awareness and education. That experience is something that no one will ever be able to take away from me. I have 3 degrees, and the things that I learned there while I was in South Africa will stay with me longer than the equations that I memorized from the textbooks that I was in school. One of the other and last things that I'd like for you to consider while you're broadening your horizons in education is to consider volunteering. How often have you thought that you were giving something to someone else only for them to turn around and give you something so inspiring and touching back to you? I volunteer for an organization called MedShare that collects unused, still new supplies from hospitals and medical centers, and then ships them and sorts them to underdeveloped countries for use. Recently, a lot of the packaging that we've been doing and sorting has been for numerous shipments that have gone to Haiti. MedShare recently sent me a very nice slide presentation kind of documenting the life of the product, where it comes in from the medical center. It showed the video of volunteer sorting, then packaging, then being loaded onto pallets, and then onto the airplane, then the products being taken off of the airplane by military personnel in Haiti, then on a truck on its way to the clinic or the facility where it was going to be used on the patient, and finally the patient wrapped up in bandages that had come all the way from here. And that was so touching and inspiring for me to be able to know that all the way from here, I was affecting someone's life to make it better so far away. And in the process, I learned the whole supply chain process of what it takes to get a product from here to there, the challenges and difficulties that it takes. So in closing, I'd like to share with you a story about my grandfather. He grew up in West Oakland. He dropped out of school around the 8th grade to go to work and help provide for his family. And at the age of 87, he was learning how to, for the first time, learn to read and write. So while I was at school and coming home to do my homework, he was right there at the table with me, learning how to read as white as well. And this had such a profound effect on the way that I view education and my strive to continue to better myself, that I've put that kind of forefront in all of the things that I've set forward. Today, I hopefully have inspired you to think of other Socratic ways that you too can continue your education outside of the classroom and better yourself. Thank you.